What if I told you that anxiety is not here to destroy you? What if I told you that anxiety is not a weakness, not a disease, and not a curse? What if the very thing you are trying to escape is actually the thing that can change your life forever? Most people spend their whole lives running away from anxiety. They try to silence it. They try to numb it. They try to kill it with distractions, addictions, and excuses. But what if anxiety is not your enemy? What if anxiety is your body and mind trying to wake you up? On English Achieve, we believe that understanding anxiety is the first step to transforming it into power. Stay with me until the end, because today, you will learn something most people never understand. Anxiety is power, if you know how to use it. Part 1. Why anxiety feels so scary. Anxiety feels uncomfortable, and that is the first reason people become afraid of it. When anxiety appears, your heart starts beating faster as if your body is preparing for something dangerous. Your chest may feel tight, your breathing becomes shallow, and your muscles feel tense. Inside your mind, thoughts begin to race. One thought quickly turns into another, and before you know it, you are imagining the worst possible future again and again. Even when nothing bad is happening in front of you, your body reacts as if danger is already there. This gap between reality and feeling makes anxiety feel confusing and frightening. Because anxiety feels so intense, people quickly label it as something bad. Society teaches us that comfort is normal and discomfort is wrong. So when anxiety shows up, doctors often try to remove it. People around you tell you to calm down, and friends say things like, "Don't think too much," or "Just relax." These words sound helpful, but they send a hidden message. There is something wrong with you for feeling this way. Over time, you start to believe that anxiety itself is the problem, something shameful that must be pushed away or hidden. But anxiety did not come from nowhere. Anxiety is not random, and it is not a mistake of nature. It exists for a very real reason. Long ago, anxiety played an important role in human survival. When early humans sensed danger, anxiety warned them. It sharpened their focus, increased their strength, and prepared their body to act quickly. That same fast heartbeat and alert mind helped them escape threats and stay alive. Anxiety was not an enemy. It was a protector. The real problem today is not anxiety itself. The problem is that modern life has taught you to fear your own feelings. You were taught that being calm all the time means you are healthy, successful, and strong. No one taught you how to understand emotional signals or listen to your inner state. Instead, you were taught to suppress, distract, or fight anything that feels uncomfortable. So when anxiety appears, you panic about the feeling instead of understanding it. You were never taught how to listen to anxiety with curiosity and awareness. You were only taught how to resist it. And when you fight something inside yourself, it naturally grows stronger. Anxiety feels scary not because it is dangerous, but because you were never shown how to work with it. Part 2. Anxiety is energy, not a problem. Here is a truth most people never hear and rarely understand. Anxiety is not a problem. Anxiety is energy. It is stored emotional and mental energy moving inside your body and mind. When this energy has no direction, it feels overwhelming. It shakes your thoughts, tightens your chest, and makes your body restless. But the discomfort does not mean the energy is bad. It only means the energy is unused or misunderstood. When anxiety is not expressed, it changes form. When you don't express this inner energy, it slowly turns into fear. Fear keeps you frozen and unsure. When you try to suppress anxiety, pretending it does not exist, the energy has nowhere to go, so it becomes panic. Panic is anxiety trapped inside the body with no release. And when you completely ignore anxiety, pushing it down again and again, it turns into long-term suffering. The pain grows quietly until it affects your confidence, sleep, and peace of mind. But something powerful happens when you stop fighting this energy and start using it. When you give anxiety a purpose, it becomes fuel. The same energy that once scared you can push you forward. Anxiety is movement inside you, asking to be directed. It wants action, expression, and growth. Once you understand this, anxiety no longer feels like a curse. It becomes a source of strength. Think about this carefully. Why do anxious people often think more deeply than others? Why do they imagine many possible futures, both good and bad? Why do they notice small details that others easily miss? The answer is simple. Anxiety sharpens awareness. An anxious mind is constantly scanning, observing, and preparing. This heightened awareness is not weakness, it is sensitivity and intelligence working together. Your anxiety means that you care deeply. You do not live on the surface of life. You think about meaning, consequences, and direction. Your anxiety also means you are alert. Your mind is awake, not asleep. You notice changes in people, situations, and yourself. It also means you are sensitive. You feel emotions strongly, both your own and others. And finally, it means you are mentally active. Your mind is powerful, always moving, always searching. These qualities are not flaws to be fixed. They are raw materials for greatness. When guided properly, this energy can turn into creativity, discipline, insight, and purpose. Anxiety is not here to destroy you. It is here to be shaped into something meaningful. Part 3. Stop asking. How do I remove anxiety? Most people ask the wrong question when anxiety enters their life. The moment they feel uneasy, restless, or afraid, their first thought is, how do I stop this feeling? They search for ways to remove anxiety as quickly as possible. They ask, how do I stop anxiety? How do I remove anxiety? Or even, how do I kill anxiety forever? These questions come from fear, not understanding. They assume anxiety is an enemy that must be destroyed before life can move forward. But the right question is very different. Instead of asking how to remove anxiety, a wiser question is, what is my anxiety trying to tell me? Anxiety does not appear randomly. It appears when something inside you is out of balance. It shows up when your inner world and outer life are not aligned. When the life you are living does not match the truth you feel inside, anxiety rises to get your attention. Anxiety often appears when you are living smaller than your potential. You may think big dreams, imagine a better future, and feel a strong desire to grow, but your actions stay safe and limited. This inner conflict creates tension. Anxiety is born from the gap between who you are and who you know you could become. It also appears when you ignore your inner voice for too long. Deep inside, you often know what changes you need to make, but fear, comfort, or habit keeps you silent. Anxiety becomes the voice that refuses to stay quiet. Anxiety is a message, and every message has meaning. If you feel anxious about your future, it may be because your present life is not honest with your true desires. If you feel anxious around people, it may be because you are pretending, pleasing others, or hiding parts of yourself to be accepted. If anxiety visits you at night, when everything is quiet, it may be because your soul is asking for direction, purpose, or truth that you have been avoiding during the day. When you fight anxiety, you miss its message. When you try to silence it, you delay growth. Anxiety is not asking you to run. It is asking you to look closer. Listen carefully, without judgment. The moment you stop fighting anxiety and start listening, it begins to guide you instead of control you. Part 4. Anxiety and Untapped Potential. Many highly successful people experienced intense anxiety long before the world ever saw their success. Writers who changed how people think, thinkers who questioned reality, leaders who carried heavy responsibility, and creators who brought new ideas into the world often lived with deep inner tension. From the outside, their achievements look confident and powerful, but inside, many of them struggled with anxiety. This is not a coincidence. Anxiety and potential are often connected. Anxiety tends to appear right before growth. When you are about to change, anxiety shows up to test you. When you are about to level up in life, anxiety increases. When you are about to leave your comfort zone, anxiety does not whisper. It screams. It fills your mind with doubt, fear, and questions. This moment feels dangerous, and your body reacts as if you are about to make a mistake. In reality, you are about to step into something unfamiliar and meaningful. Most people turn back at this exact point. They feel the discomfort and immediately believe it is a warning sign. They say, "This feeling means I should stop," or "This anxiety means I am not ready." So they retreat into comfort, routine, and safety. Their potential stays locked inside them, not because they lack ability, but because they misunderstand the signal. They confuse growth anxiety with real danger. Strong people understand something different. They learn through experience that this feeling often means they are close to transformation. They realize that anxiety is not blocking the path. It is standing at the entrance. The closer you get to change, the louder anxiety becomes. Not because you are weak, but because what you are about to do matters. Growth always asks for courage, and courage always awakens anxiety. Anxiety is like pressure deep inside the earth. Without pressure, diamonds would never form. In the same way, without inner pressure, most people would never grow beyond who they already are. Anxiety pushes you to think deeper, prepare more carefully, and take your responsibilities seriously. It forces you to look inward and question your limits. Your anxiety may be proof of untapped potential waiting to be shaped. Instead of asking why you feel anxious, ask what kind of person you are becoming. The pressure you feel today may be shaping the strength you will need tomorrow. Part 5. The difference between fear and anxiety. Fear and anxiety are often confused, but they are not the same. Fear has a clear object. It appears when there is a real and immediate threat in front of you. A lion chasing you, a fast car about to hit you, or a sudden dangerous situation. This is fear. Fear is sharp, direct, and short-lived. Once the danger passes, fear usually disappears. It does its job and then lets go. Anxiety is different. Anxiety is fear without direction. It does not point to one clear danger standing in front of you. Instead, it spreads through your thoughts and imagination. It worries about what might happen, what could go wrong, or what may never come. Because anxiety has no clear enemy, your mind keeps searching. This is why anxiety feels overwhelming. You are trying to fight something invisible. When fear appears, you know what to do. You run, protect yourself, or move away from danger. But when anxiety appears, there is no clear action, so your body stays tense and alert for a long time. This long-lasting alert state drains your energy and confuses your mind. You feel tired, restless, and stuck, even though nothing is happening around you. This is not because you are weak, but because anxiety has no direction. The moment you give anxiety direction, everything begins to change. Anxiety becomes powerful when it is guided toward action. Action gives your anxious energy a place to go. Even small actions help. Writing one page, making one decision, practicing one skill, or taking one step forward tells your nervous system that you are no longer helpless. The energy that once turned into worry now turns into movement. Anxiety without action becomes suffering. The energy stays trapped inside, turning into endless thinking and self-doubt. But anxiety with action becomes progress. Each action, no matter how small, transforms fear into confidence. You may still feel anxious, but now the anxiety works for you instead of against you. Action does not remove anxiety instantly, but it trains your mind to trust itself. Over time, your anxiety learns a new role, not to paralyze you, but to push you forward. Part 6. Action is the cure you were avoiding. Here is a simple truth that many people avoid accepting. Anxiety hates movement. Anxiety grows in stillness, not in action. When you sit alone with your thoughts and overthink the same problems again and again, anxiety becomes louder. Your mind starts creating stories, imagining worst-case futures, and replaying old mistakes. The more you sit still, the more powerful anxiety feels. It feeds on hesitation and silence. Avoidance makes anxiety even stronger. When you avoid difficult conversations, important decisions, or meaningful work, anxiety learns that fear controls you. Every time you delay something because it feels uncomfortable, anxiety grows a little bigger. Delay tells your mind, this is dangerous, even when it is not. Over time, anxiety multiplies, not because the problem is huge, but because you keep stepping away from it. But something powerful happens when you act, even imperfectly. Anxiety weakens the moment you move. This does not happen because the problem suddenly disappears. It happens because your brain sees courage. Action sends a clear message to your nervous system. I am not helpless. Even a small step changes the inner story from fear to strength. Your body relaxes slightly, your thoughts slow down, and confidence begins to grow. Action does not have to be perfect or big. Small actions are enough. Simple steps are enough. Sending one message, writing one paragraph, practicing for 5 minutes, or showing up when you feel unsure. These actions break the cycle of fear. Daily movement trains your mind to trust you. It teaches your anxiety that you can handle discomfort without falling apart. This is how you turn anxiety into an ally instead of an enemy. Each time you choose action over avoidance, you reshape your inner response. Anxiety still appears, but it no longer controls you. It becomes a signal to move, not a reason to freeze. Over time, your nervous system learns a new pattern. Discomfort leads to action, not panic. When you stop waiting to feel ready and start moving anyway, anxiety begins to work for you. Movement becomes medicine. Action becomes proof of strength. And slowly, anxiety transforms from a problem into a powerful guide forward. Part 7. Anxiety and Discipline. Anxiety gives you energy, but discipline gives that energy direction. This is a powerful relationship that most people never learn to use. Anxiety by itself feels messy and overwhelming. It pushes thoughts in many directions at once, creating confusion and inner noise. But when discipline enters the picture, that same anxious energy becomes organized and useful. Discipline does not remove anxiety. It guides it. Without discipline, anxiety turns into chaos.